Hi, it's Mo Egger with Rocky Boyman, the Rock and Mo Football Show, the Rock and Mo Football TV show.
How about that?
How about that? So the Bengals are playing the Kansas City Chiefs tomorrow night, or maybe tonight. ESPN 1530 has it kickoff at 8 o'clock. First of all, let's get this out of the way. I know you've been asked 1,000 times, but let's give me 15 seconds on how you feel about the Andy Dalton deal.
Look, I think ultimately, you and I both said we wouldn't have done the deal, but with that said, I think it's structured enough to where it's still favorable for the team. It's not a contract that even if he fails, doesn't live up to expectations, is going to set this franchise back for the next 6, 8, 10 years. So
all right.
Ultimately, it's okay.
All right, so Andy and the Bengals play Kansas City, the preseason opener. Before we talk about what you're looking for in preseason game number 1, if you're a rookie in the NFL, you've gone through a couple of weeks of training camp, what are the hours leading up to your first NFL game, your first preseason game like?
It's nerve-wracking. What you got to remind yourself is not to just, when the lights come on, to revert back to your old college stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you've been working in camp, working within a certain system, and there's a tendency to just freak out when the lights come on. You're in your first NFL game. It's something you've dreamed about for a long, long time. So you got to remain poised, stick to your fundamentals, and try to show these coaches you deserve to be there.
The first preseason game, look, there's not going to be any huge roster decisions made after the first one, but who is this first one important for?
I'll tell you what, I've been saying all along, Ryan Hewitt, I think, is a guy who so far is having a big camp. Tight end, fullback kind of guy. To me, he looks like the most natural fullback on this roster compared to Orson Charles. Nothing against Orson Charles, but when I see Ryan Hewitt, he looks like he's natural at the fullback position.
Orson Charles is a tight end.
Exactly, yeah. But he's been doing it for a couple years trying to do the fullback thing. Hasn't really seen it yet. But if Ryan Hewitt can make a case he can play special teams, now he has value because again we got to keep a third quarterback this year, so you got to be able to do a lot of things. If Ryan Hewitt can play fullback, play tight end in a pinch if Jermaine Gresham or Tyler Eifert get hurt, and can play special teams, I think he can make a case for this roster.
All right, what else are you looking for from the Bengals in preseason game number 1 against the Chiefs?
I think you just want to come out and see some offensive continuity. Again, we can't look too much into it. The first team guys may get 12, 14 snaps max.
Right.
You don't want to see balls on the ground. You don't want to see wide receivers and quarterbacks totally discombobulated out there. On defense, you don't want to see total breakdowns in coverage. So you want to see a good rhythm out there. I want to see a little bit of an aspect of what this offense, this Hugh Jackson offense, is going to look like, and then get them off the field before they get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. The word of the offseason and the word of training camp so far has been tempo. Yes. So I want to see the quick tempo. To me, this is the universal sign for tempo. It's also the universal sign for something else. I want to see Hugh Jackson standing on the sideline. Oh, come on! Let's go! All right. By the way, you and I have something in common. Neither of us played for the Bengals. You played for the Chiefs.
That's right.
Give me a memory of being a Kansas City Chief.
The last game I played for the Chiefs was here in Cincinnati, and it was in late December, and the Bengals were bad that year. We were 2-13 coming in, and there was probably 15 people.
I think the Bengals won that game.
The Bengals did win, but I had 14 tackles in that game.
Well, somebody has to make the tackle. All right, Rocky, thank you. So the Bengals and Chiefs preseason game number 1 on ESPN 1530. Our pregame coverage starts at 3:04 from the Holy Grail. You're going to join me in the 5 o'clock hour and then kick off on the official home of the Bengals at 8 o'clock. This has been the Rock and Mo Football TV show on ESPN1530.com.